Please don't distract it. Whatever is working, I'll continue.
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये शृण्वतां सुगता कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्थो ह्यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतां नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी श्रीमद्भागवतं की जय. We were discussing chapter 2. In chapter 2, yesterday we discussed the whole chapter overview and the first part of it. The whole chapter overview, chapter 2, we discussed that this is basically, chapter 2 has this, don't distract me, it's alright. However it is, it will be recorded. Don't too much engineering. Most important is it is for the people in this class. And if it helps others, it helps others. Yeah, this Mataji's, please ask them to be silent. There are 5 parts to this chapter. The first part is Mangalacharana. We discussed in Mangalacharana, there is a Guru Vandana, Devata Vandana, and also the appreciation of the inquirers. Yeah, inquirers. And then, just give me a time. And next we have 4 questions are answered. First question, second question, fourth question, and third question. This is the entire chapter, This first question is what we discussed. What is the ultimate good for all? Pumsam ekantata shreyaha. So it looks like these verses are disconnected, but every single verse is very much connected, that we can see based on the commentaries of the Acharyas. So the answer to first question is bhakti, unmotivated and uninterrupted bhakti. And immediately once this question comes, what is the ultimate good for all? Answers will come like jnana, vairagya, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and also of course karma, swadharma, varnashram dharma. So many answers will come. He is picking up the right answer first. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti rathokshache ahaituki apratihata eyatma suprasidati. Bhakti is the answer, this is first. Then why not others? Immediately explain. Jnana and vairagya, no, they are not. Because they are byproducts of bhakti. So they cannot be ultimate. And then swadharma. He started saying that the goal of swadharma is bhakti. So swadharma is not ultimate. Because why swadharma is not ultimate? Why jnana and vairagya not ultimate? Because they cannot give the realization of tattva. They cannot give the realization of the Supreme Lord. That's why jnana and vairagya we have taken out. Similarly, swadharma. Swadharma cannot give realization of tattva. And this thing. Then the whole process is explained. Generally people say the goal of everything, Chaturvida Purusharthas. Artha means goal. Chaturvida Purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is the purpose of human life. Many people say. First is again, he started saying, Dharmasya hi apavargasya. Apavarga means moksha. Apavarga is calling. Proper translated as ultimate liberation. Acharyas say that is bhakti. So dharma is meant for bhakti only. See this chant, dharma is meant for bhakti only. And then immediately he says, the dharma, the purpose of dharma is not artha. Purpose of artha is not kama. Kama means here fulfillment of desires. The fulfillment of desires, kama, should not be meant for indriya priti, unrestricted sense enjoyment. It is only for self-preservation, jivana nirvahana, self-preservation. So, dharma should not be for artha, artha should not be for kama, kama should not be for indriya priti, kama is for jivana nirvahana or self-preservation. So, this having healthy life and self-preservation is for what? Yesterday we discussed, it is not for jogging, running, doing kabaddi or doing cricket, and then keeping a healthy body fit for sense gratification. That is meant for tattva jigyasa. So the healthy body is meant for tattva jigyasa. And what is tattva? Immediately the question comes. Then he explains tattva is what? Advaya jnana. Tattva jnanam tattvam et jnanam abhyayam. Tatvaya is the non-dual substance or the ultimate knowledge, that is tattva. And he explained Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Impersonalists call that tattva Brahman, and Yogis call that Tattva Paramatma, devotees call that Tattva Bhagwan. So Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. So this Tattva, how the Tattva will be realized? Only by Bhakti. That is why Bhakti is the ultimate good for all, because from Bhakti the ultimate object of worship, Krishna, will be realized, not through any other process. So 6 to 12, it looks like they are all little disconnected, but very much answering only the first question. First question is answered, what is the ultimate good for all? So anticipating questions from others, that why not this, why not this, why not this, he answered everything, then that is closed. Now today we are going to discuss the second question. What is the essence of all scriptures? So this is again based on mostly Baldev Vidyabhushan's this thing and some points from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Prabhupada, of course, all the purports and other things from Srila Prabhupada. See, what is the ultimate good for all? What is the essence of all scriptures? He says 4 things: Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Archana. We'll see the verse. And then 2 questions will come. One question is, I'm not able to do Shravana Kirtana. I don't have attraction for hearing and chanting. How do I get? So the whole process is explained how one will get attraction for Shravana Kirtana. Then another question comes, why only this to Krishna Vasudeva? Why not to Lord Shiva? Why not Lord Brahma? Why not Ganapati? Why not Prajapati? Why not Bhutapati? Why not the Bhutas, Pretas? Why not worship them? So he explains why only worship Krishna. And finally concludes, Vasudeva is the goal of everything. That is the second part. We'll just see today. The third and fourth, you see, next 4th question is answered. Describe the Lord's activities, great activities in relation to creation. This is the next question. Of course, the question can be translated in different ways, but it is talking according to the Acharyas about the Purusha Avataras in relation to the creation. So 3 things we discussed, 3 important points. What is that? Created, entered, situated. Created the universe as Karanodakasai Vishnu, entered the universe as Garbhodakasai Vishnu, situated in all living entities as Shridrakasai Vishnu, Paramatma. Done. And third question is, why Lord Krishna appeared? So many answers we considered. Somebody says, Indra Arivakulam Lokam Rudayanti Yuge Yuge. That is there in the verse, but the answer is rejected. Why? Rudayanti is plural. The plural refers to not just Krishna, for all other incarnations. Krishna did not come to establish religious principles or to kill the demons. So Krishna primarily comes Paripranaya Sadhuna. That is there in the last verse according to Baldev Vidyabhushan. So 34th verse talks about to protect the devotees. The one line answer for the right answer for this thing is to protect the devotees. Of course, Krishna says Paripranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkritam Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. That he says. Every yuga he comes not as Krishna. He comes as his incarnation. He comes only once in a day of Brahma. At that time, just job is not to kill the demons, job is not to re-establish Dharma. Primary is to entertain, to delight the devotees, Paliprana and Sadhulam. So the correct answer for this, Acharyas have came not to believe the burden of earth, not to do this, to protect devotees, to delight devotees, to increase their devotion. Lord is coming. So these are the 4 questions. So in the second chapter, only 4 questions are asked, and the 4 questions are answered. Third chapter, only 2 questions answered. 4 plus 2 is all 6 questions answered. And if there is no other topic being discussed other than connecting to these questions, that's why I have divided this chapter like this. So we'll discuss now the second part in detail. Atah umbir dijasreshta varnashrama vibhagashaha. Swanushtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. O best of the Brahmanas, O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. So this is also there as part of the previous one. Actually, we will start from here. This we discussed. Yeah. Tasmadekena manasa Bhagavan Sattvatam Patihi Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Dheya Pujyasya Nityada.
Dheya Pujyasya Nityada.
Acharya is saying the second question is being answered with this. Ekena Manasa, with one pointed attention. Bhagavan Sattvatam Patihi, the Lord of the Sattvatas, the Lord of the Edus, the Lord of the devotees. Like, he should be Shrotavyaha, heard, Kirtitavyaha, glorified, Jyayaha, meditated, remembered, Pujyaha, like, he should be worshipped, Nityada, always. So that's why we put hearing, chanting, remembering and worshipping. So this is the answer to the question number 2. Tasmad ekena manasa Bhagavan Sattvatam Patihi Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Dhyaya Pujyascha Nityada. Because they asked you read so many scriptures, and what is the essence of all scriptures? Essence of all scripture is hearing about Krishna, glorifying Krishna, remembering Krishna, worshipping Krishna. Yeah. Therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember and worship the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotees. The tendency to glorify others or hear others must be turned to the real object of glorification, the Supreme Being, and that will bring happiness. We'll move on. Yadhanudhyasina yukta karma grandhi nibandhanam Chindanti Kovidastasya Kona Kuryat Katharathim. Because by hearing about Krishna, by remembering Krishna, by glorifying Krishna, by worshipping Krishna, what happens? Yad anudhyasina yukta karma grandhi nibandhanam. Like, Chindanti Kovidastasya. So, by remembrance of Krishna, that is like a sword. Asi means sword. Asina, with the sword. Anudhya, asuna, anudhya plus asina, anudhyasina. So, those who remember Krishna always, what happens? Karma grandhi nibandhanam. So, the karma grandhi, the knot of karma, the fruitivar, that is chindanti, that is cut. Kovida tasya, this is done by the great souls. Kona Kuryat Katharatim, so that who will not pay attention to his message. So, by remembering Krishna, it also includes by chanting, by glorifying, by worshipping Krishna, the knot of the karma is cut completely. That's how Kovida, they cut. Chindanti Kovida Tasya, the Kovidas cut the knot. Just by remember Krishna, the chain of fruitive actions is stopped. Just by glorifying Krishna, all the karmic reactions are gone. Just by chanting, just by hearing, just by clapping, the sins and anarthas and the karma grandhi is cut. So, with sword in hand, asina, intelligent men, kovida, cut, chindantri, through the binding knots of reactionary work, karma grandhi nibandhanam, by remembering anudhya, the personality of Godhead, it is talked about in the previous verse, Sattvatam Pati, its continuation. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Kona Kuryat Katharatim. So, who will not pay attention? Everybody will pay attention. Everybody will hear. But still, people don't have attraction. We don't have attraction for Shravanam, Kirtanam. Then, how to get that attraction is being told in the next verse. Before the few points from Srila Prabhupada's purport. The contact of the spiritual spark with material elements creates a knot which must be cut if one wants to be liberated from the actions and reactions of fruitive work. Liberation means freedom from the cycle of reactionary work. This liberation automatically follows for one who constantly remembers the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead. See, without remembering Krishna, we will be if we are not remembering Krishna, not glorifying, not chanting, not worshipping Krishna, then we have so many fruitive activities. We are engrossed in those fruitive activities for sense gratification. How will I satisfy my senses today? How will I satisfy? This is what is thinking. Pingala was a prostitute. She was on the evening waiting for customers on the road. Bhagavatam says, and then she is telling, maybe this person will come and satisfy my senses. I'll give me money also. Maybe that person will do. Maybe this person will do. Constantly thinking about something or else. Finally, she's frustrated and she said, why am I doing all this? I should be like Lakshmi, worshipping the Supreme Lord. Like, the moment she turned her focus to Krishna, her, karmic reactions are cut, and she actually became a pure devotee. And in fact, Pingala is being glorified even by the gopis, in their conversation when they are talking to among themselves that how great Pingala is. And she is also appreciated even by Lord Krishna. I think he is the one who told the story to Uddhava, Pingala story. So that's how the karma grandhi is cut, by remembering Krishna, by glorifying Krishna. They are all attractive spiritual activities, and therefore constant association with the spiritual activities of the Supreme Lord gradually spiritualizes the conditioned soul and ultimately severs the knot of material bondage. Attainment of spiritual knowledge is not sufficient to ensure liberation. Such knowledge must be overcoated with devotional service, so that ultimately the devotional service alone predominates. Prabhupada once again is answering, why not jnana? Yeah. The liberation is made possible. Even the reactionary work of the fruity workers can lead one to liberation when it is overcoated with devotional service. The liberation is made possible. Even the reactionary work of fruity workers can lead one to liberation when it's overcoated with devotional service. Same thing, Pingala is an example. Yeah. So, we read this verse, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanamcha Yadahaitukam. So, what is that ahaitukam jnana? Previously we heard about ahaitukim bhakti. That we understand, unmotivated, we don't want to expect, no phalapeksha, there's no material motive. So what is jnanamcha yadahaitukam means? Acharya is saying jnanamcha yadahaitukam means that jnana which is not aimed at liberation. That is ahaitukam jnana, Krishna Chakravarti says. So only by devotional service that jnana will come as byproduct. Otherwise, the direct knowledge, spiritual knowledge, what we are thinking, that people anticipate that they get liberation, but Prabhupada is telling that is not sufficient to ensure liberation. Now, the two questions are answered. This statement is made, what is the essence of all scriptures? Answered. Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Archana. Done. Now, two questions are come. First for me, I don't have attraction. How do I get attraction? He is explaining for us. Shushrusho Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Katharuchihi Syan Mahatsevaya Vipra Punyatirthanishevanat. Shushrusho means, Prabhupada told three definitions. What are those? Sincere, serious, and without ulterior motives. Sincere, serious, without ulterior motives. One who is engaged in hearing, Shushrusho, Shraddhadanasya, with care and attention. Vasudeva Kadharuchi Syat Mahatsevaya. Mahatsevaya, if one serves the great souls with care and attention, Vasudeva Katharuchi Syat. The Vasudeva Katharuchi will happen for sure. Yesterday I told you one thing about Vasudeva. What did I say? The word that is repeated many times in this chapter, maximum number of times, that is Vasudeva. Vasudeva Katharuchi Syat. It will happen for sure by Mahat Sevaya. Vipra, O Brahmanas, O twice born sages. Punyatirtha Nishevanat. Punyatirtha means those who are like holy places, those who are pure, those who are cleansed of all vice. Nishevana, by service, also by taking shelter of their lotus feet, by hearing from them. One will get Vasudeva Katharuchi. Rupa Goswami gave 9-step process, in progress of bhakti, starting with Adhav Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur taking these verses from Bhagavatam, taking the exact same verses from Bhagavatam, he has put 14-step process and he is starting with Satam Kripa. First he said here he starts with Mahat Seva, looks like, but even that Mahat Seva also is possible. We want to do some service to the great souls. Even that service also will be possible if they allow us to do that. Even if you want to carry a bag, sometimes we see, Maharaj came recently here, my devotee wanted to help to carry his bag. He gave the bag initially. He gave the bag. But the devotee was walking so fast and taking the bag and going somewhere, and Maharaj is afraid, what happens to my bag? He said, call him back, and call him immediately took the bag. I don't want to give my bag. So unless they allow us to do the service, we cannot get. So we need to get the Kripa. Satam Kripa first. Then Mahat Seva. Then Shraddha. After that, Punya Tirtha Nishevana, which is same as Guru Padashrayaha. Then comes, Bhajaneshu Shruha and other things. We go back. Yeah. So here, O Brahmanas, attraction for topics concerning Krishna will arise by the service to the great devotees. Mahat Sevaya. Followed by faith, by surrender to the feet of the pure Guru, and by the desire to hear. So this is the order crystalline. First is he started here with the arise by the service to the great devotees, Mahat Sevaya, followed by faith, Shraddha, and by surrender to the feet of the pure devotees, Punya Tirtha Nishevana, and by the desire to hear. These are the styles, the Sushrusho. This is the order according to Krishna Chakravarti. The eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible for entering the kingdom of God. That's true. By serving the servants of the Lord, one gradually gets the quality of such servants, and thus one becomes qualified to hear the glories of the Lord. So, because they have the quality, by serving them we get, and this is the first quality by which one can enter into the kingdom of God. The servants of the God are to be respected as God by the devotees who actually want to go back to Godhead. The servants of God are called Mahatmas or Tirthas, and they preach according to the particular time and place. The servants of God urge people to become devotees of the Lord. They never tolerate being called. So they are Punya Tirthas, but they will not allow them to be called as God. So they are pure representative of the God. God is also called Punya Tirtha, because holy place is not different from the Lord. Devotees are also called Punya Tirtha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was God himself according to the indication of the revealed scriptures. But he played the part of a devotee. People knew him to be God, addressed him as God, but he used to block his ears with hands and chant the name of Lord Vishnu. The Lord behaves so to warn us against the unscrupulous men who take pleasure in being addressed as God. So wherever possible, Srila Prabhupada from the beginning inserts related to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaudiya philosophy in the purports to highlight this thing. Here he elaborated the word Punya Tirtha. Next, what happens? Now one started doing the Bhajana Kriya. Then what happens? Shunvatam Swakataha Krishnaha Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantastohya Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhritsatam. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, Hridyantaha, super soul. And Krishna, Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, Hridi Antaha, and the benefactor of the truthful devotees, Suhrut Satam. Satam means devotees, Suhrut means benefactor. Suhrut Satam, the friend of the devotees, or the benefactor of the devotees, cleanses desire for material enjoyment. This is Vidhunoti, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed urge to hear his messages. Shunvatam Swakataha Krishnaha, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Punya Shravana Kirtanaha. Krishna Chakravarti's translation based on his commentary. Krishna, who purifies the process of hearing and chanting, Punya Shavana Kirtana, who is the benefactor of the devotees, Suhrat Satam, who hears about him, enters the heart of the devotees and destroys their sin. Hridi antastaha abhadrani vidunoti. Messages of personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, are not different from him. Whenever, therefore, offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Krishna helps in all respects. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for the devotee making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotional life fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But when one is helped by the Lord himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. Why Prabhupada is telling this thing? It is because Krishna personally helps, he cleanses as soon as we hear, and there are great stalwarts, they fell in this for women and wealth. This is material world. These problems are there. But one who is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, gradually he realizes the real position. By the grace of God, Lord Krishna, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbances, namely women and wealth, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind, because Krishna cleanses vidhanoti. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Before that, okay, please we check. Nityam bhagavata sevaya. Like this, by hearing about Krishna every day, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, by serving the devotees, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. All the Abhadras, Prayeshu, almost all, Nashtaha, they'll be destroyed. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Bhagavan, Supreme Lord Uttama Shloka, who is glorified in choice poetry, with choice poetry. For him, Bhaktir Bhavati, Bhakti will sprout, Naishtiki, as an irrevocable fact, Nishta begins here. By regular attendance in the classes and the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotee, book Bhagavata and devotee Bhagavata, by serving them, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati. Bhagavati bhaktir bhavati, who is praised with transcendental songs, uttama shloke, is established as an irrevocable fact. Naishtiki bhavati. As the impediments to bhakti become generally destroyed by constant service to the devotees and Bhagavatam, the stage of Nishtita Bhakti to Bhagavan, who is praised by the great sages, becomes established. In fact, in Madhurya Kadambari, Krishna Chakravarti says the two types of bhakti. I think in the beginning, whatever we call Bhajana Kriya, that Bhajana Kriya is Anishtita Bhakti. The Bhajana Kriya is Anishtita Bhakti. And when Nishta comes, it becomes Nishtita Bhakti. Till then, it is Anishtita Bhakti. It is Bhakti, but it is not strong. Now, after regularly hearing, daily sitting in the Bhagavatam class, serving the devotees, the Nishtita Bhakti comes. There are two types of Bhagavatas, namely the book Bhagavata and devotee Bhagavata. Both Bhagavatas are competent remedies, and both of them, or either of them, can be good enough to eliminate the obstacles. So both are good in the sense that you can hear from them or you can read the scripture. That's what it means. A devotee Bhagavata is as good as the book Bhagavata because the devotee Bhagavata leads his life in terms of book Bhagavata, and the book Bhagavata is full of information about the personality of Godhead and his pure devotees who are also Bhagavatas. Bhagavata book and Bhagavata person are identical. That's why by hearing from the devotees and by reading Bhagavata. Human reason fails to understand how by serving the devotee Bhagavata, the book Bhagavata, one gets gradual promotion to the path of devotion. This is not by reading a book. Like, how can just hearing, nowadays people call it gyan. In a derogatory sense, gyan has become like a negative thing. Don't give me gyan. Like, and people say that. Also, like, how can it be possible? But Srila Prabhupada is telling, because Bhagavatam is saying that it is possible. Human reason fails to understand. As Indra Maharaj one time told us, it's not that many times, I heard even before coming to Prabhupada, you are not this body, you are not this body, you are not this body. I heard that. But it didn't make any impact on me. But the same statement, you are not this body, and he met Prabhupada first time, it was interpreted him and said that you are not this body. It made an impact, and then he became a devotee. So human reason fails to understand how by serving the devotee Bhagavata, book Bhagavata, one gets gradual promotion on the path of devotion. The more progress is made in devotional service under the guidance of the guidance of the Bhagavatas, the more one becomes fixed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The messages of the book Bhagavata therefore have to be received from the devotee Bhagavata, and the combination of these two Bhagavatas will help the neophyte devotee to make progress on and on. This is the difference between neophyte devotee and advanced devotee. Neophyte devotee, is one who do not have attraction to Bhagavatam. Advanced devotee has this attraction to Bhagavatam. So if a neophyte devotee wants to become advanced in Bhagavatam, he has to read Bhagavatam and he has to serve Bhagavatas. Tadarajastamo bhava kamalobhadayaschaye chetayetairanabhiddham stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as tadarajastamo bhava, the mode of passion and ignorance, and kama and lobha, which are coming from rajas and tamas, they are subdued as soon as one is established in nishtita bhakti. As soon as an irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, sthitam sattve prasidati, and he becomes completely happy. So what is he calling this as? Actually, ruchi. The mind becomes unaffected by lust, greed, anger, hatred and illusion, which arises from rajas and tamas. Then the mind becomes fixed in the form of the Lord at the stage of asakti and becomes satisfied. This is only ruchi, this is only asakti. That is what Krishna Chakra Thakur said. The stage of existence is called Brahmabhuta. This stage of existence is called Brahmabhuta or Atmananda, or the state of self-satisfaction. So whatever the state of self-satisfaction will come at the stage of ruchi and asakti. This self-satisfaction is not like the satisfaction of the inactive fool. The inactive fool is in the state of foolish ignorance, whereas the self-satisfied Atmanandi is transcendental to the material state of existence. This state of perfection is attained as soon as one is fixed in irrevocable devotional service. Devotional service is not inactivity, but the unalloyed activity of the soul. Some important points in Srila Prabhupada purport. A devotee is always in the mode of unalloyed goodness, therefore he harms no one. Only in the Suddha Sattva state can one always see Krishna face to face by dint of pure devotion, pure affection for the Lord. Of course, there are a few other steps according to Vishwanath, from the state of ruchi and asakti to the darshana, bhava, prema, darshana, and then madhurya anubhava, releasing the rasa. But the non-devotee, however educated he may be, is always harmful. A devotee is neither foolish nor passionate. The harmful foolish and passionate cannot be devotees of the Lord. However, they may advertise themselves as devotees by outward dress. A devotee is always qualified with all the good qualities of God. Quantitatively, such qualifications may be different, but qualitatively, both the Lord and His devotees are one and the same. Evam prasanna manasaha bhagavat bhakti yogataha bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate evam prasanna manasaha, like thus enlivened, when Rajoguna and Tamoguna has come down, when Sattva-guna is increased, when the Nishtha is solidified, when is coming to the stage of Ruchi and Asakti, then this happens. Thus establishing a mode of unalloyed goodness. The man whose mind has been enlivened, Evam Prasanna Manasa, by contact with devotional service to the Lord, gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. The mind becomes unaffected by lust, greed, anger, hatred and illusion, which arise from the rajas and tamas. Then the mind becomes fixed in the form of the Lord at the stage of asakti and becomes satisfied. Actually, the previous one is the ruchi. We have to just check. This is asakti. When mind is fully satisfied, when one is doing devotional service, fixed, that's what it is. Evam prasanna manasa bhagavad bhakti yogataha, bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Perfection of human life is attained when one can understand that he is not the product of matter, but he is in fact spirit. And as soon as one understands that he has nothing to do with the matter, he at once ceases his material hankerings and becomes enlivened as a spiritual being. This attainment of success is possible when one is above the modes of passion and ignorance, or in other words, when one is actually a Brahmana by qualification. So, this kind of satisfaction, the attainment of success, this kind of Brahmana is not supposed to have material anchorings, because Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. In the material stage, even a Brahmana is also a conditioned soul, because although in the Brahmanical stage the conception of Brahman or constant is realized, scientific knowledge of the Supreme Lord is lacking. One has to surpass the Brahmanical stage and reach the Vasudeva stage to understand the personality of Godhead Krishna. This is the Vasudeva stage. One understands. So this Bhagavad Tattva Vigyan happens at the stage. Vidyate hridaya grandhihi Chidyante sarva samshaya Shiyante chasya karmani Drishta evatmanishvare Vidyate hridaya grandhihi. The knot in the heart is pierced. Chidyante sarva samshaya. All doubts are gone. Chiyante chasya karmani, all the futile activities are terminated. Drishta eva atmani ishvare, one sees Ishvara in the heart. One will have the darshana, realization of the Lord. As the knot in the heart is pierced, all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. Then the mind becomes joyful and satisfied, attaining rati. Finally, prema develops, accompanied by the appearance of complete detachment. The devotee then experiences the Lord's form, qualities, pastimes, powers and sweetness. Sri Krishna is like the sun, and the materialistic speculations about the absolute truth are like the darkest midnight. As soon as the Krishna sun is arisen within one's heart, the darkness of materialistic speculations about the absolute truth and the living beings is at once cleared up. Therefore, because of the personality of Godhead taking charge of illuminating the heart of a devotee, certainly a devotee engaged in service in constant love cannot remain in darkness. So ultimately, they'll have Drishta Evatmani Ishvare. Following this process, one meets Krishna, one takes darshan of Lord. As soon as the knot is loosened, therefore, all the clouds of the doubt are at once cleared up, and one sees his master and fully engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, making a full termination of the chain of fruitive action. His actions no longer create any reaction. Ato vai kavayo nityam bhaktim paramaya muda vasudeve bhagavati kurvantyatma prasadani. Because bhakti is the essence of all scriptures, that is why many kavaya, many great people, many learned people, they are doing bhakti with paramaya muda, very happily from long time. Vasudeve Bhagavati Kurvanti Bhaktim Atma Prasadanim, that which satisfies the soul, self, like people are doing bhakti. Certainly, therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists, Kavayaha, have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhaktim Kurvanti, with great delight, like Paramaya Muda, because such devotional service is enlivening to the self, Atma Prasadanim. I think the VCT the verses, somewhere the number mismatched, that's why it is not coming properly. Ignorance is cut and doubts are destroyed, it's not should be here, that's already gone. This is should be Vidyante Hridayagami. Maybe the numbers, the verse numbers may be wrong, we can check here. You got what I'm saying? They are not in sync. The easy way to check with the book. Yeah. So, now we'll just close in a few minutes. So, the essence of all scriptures is what? Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Archana. Like, and that's how the whole process is explained. Like, if you don't have attraction, how to get attraction to this thing. And the great souls, that's why do bhakti. One more small question. Why only to Krishna? That is briefly explained. Sattvam rajastamaiti prakritir gunastai yukta parapurushai kalihasya datte vidyadaye hari virinchi hareti sanya shreyamsi tatra kalu sattva tanornunam syuhu. Sattvam rajastamaiti prakriter gunastai. There are three gunas: sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna. Yukta parapurusha eka ihasya dhatye stityadaye hari virinchi hareti sanya. That's why people worship, people in sattva guna worship like Hari. People in rajoguna worship Virinchi, Brahma. And tamoguna they worship Hara, Lord Shiva. The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, like yuktaha, yeah, paraha purushaha, yuktaha, sattvam rajastamaiti prakriter gunastai, is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance, and just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction. Sthiti adaye. Adaye means like maintenance. Creation and destruction also. Sthitya. Previously it is told Janmadhyasya, Janma and others. Now it is told Sthiti and others. Like maintenance and others. That means creation and this thing also. He accepts the three qualitative forms, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Hari, Virinchi, Hareti, Sanya. Of these three, all human beings, derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of quality of goodness. So Hari is the superior. Purusha Eka Ihasya, that the one supreme Purusha, accepting the gunas of Prakriti known as Sattva, Rajas and Tamas for creation, maintenance and destruction is called Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. The best results for the devotees will come from Vishnu with Suddha Sattva body. One more example is given. Why only Krishna? He says Krishna is superior because Krishna's body is Suddha Sattva. Krishna is superior. And people in Sattva Guna worship Krishna. People in Sattva Guna are superior. There are three modes. He did not say, for example, Janma and others. He has specifically told Sthiti and others. Why? Because Vishnu takes care of the Sthiti. Vishnu takes care of the maintenance. So Parthiva Daruno Dhumaha Tasmadagnistrayimayaha Tamasastu Rajastasmat Sattvam Yad Brahma Darshanam. See, first he told there are three gunas. And the Lord associates with the gunas indirectly. The Lord, like for Sattva guna, he maintains as Sattva guna, like as Vishnu, and he creates as Brahma in charge of mode of passion, and he destroys like as Lord Shiva being in charge of mode of creation. Why is Sattva superior than Rajas and Tamas? Very beautiful example. Parthiva means earth. Earth means wood. Parthiva Daruno Dhumaha. Parthiva Darunaha Dhumaha. The Daruna means firewood. So the firewood that is obtained in the earth, like from the trees, Parthiva Daruno Dhumaha. This is superior to Parthiva, the smoke. The smoke is superior to this wood. Smoke is superior to earth. Tasmad Agnis Trayimayaha. And more than that is Agni. Why? Because Trayimayaha, Agni is required to do the Vedas. Not the smoke, not the wood. If wood is there, smoke is there, fire is not there, yajna cannot be done. Because ultimately fire is superior to smoke, smoke is superior to wood. So, tamasastu rajas tasmat sattvam yad brahma darshanam. So, rajas is superior to tamas, sattva is superior to rajas. Why? Because sattvam yad brahma darshanam. The brahma darshanam can happen only from sattva guna. And rajoguna people, tamoguna people cannot go to brahma darshanam. Only sattvam yad brahma darshanam. Because sattva guna is congenial for realizing the absolute truth. Firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than the raw wood, and fire is still better, for by fire we can derive the benefits of superior knowledge through Vedic sacrifices. Similarly, passion, rajas, is better than ignorance, tamas, but goodness, sattva, is best, because by goodness one can come to realize the absolute truth. Smoke is superior to dull wood, and fire, sacred to the Vedas, is superior to smoke. Similarly, rajas is superior to tamas, and sattva is superior to rajas, since it is favorable for realizing the law.
Goodness is a necessary condition or favorable condition?
It's not necessary condition, it's favorable condition. Very good question. Bhejive munayotagre Bhagavantam adhokshajam Sattvam vishuddham kshemaya Kalpanti yenutaniha. Therefore, the ancient sages worshipped Supreme Lord beyond the material senses, composed of Vishuddha Sattva. Those who follow the sages attain liberation in this world. So, that's why they worship only Bhagavantam Adhokshajam. He answered the question, why only Krishna worship? Why only Krishna worship? Because people, good people worship him only. The superior people worship Krishna only. And Krishna's worship is superior. And Krishna is superior to Brahma and other. Bhagavantam Adhoksham. Now, Mumukshavo Gora Rupa Hitva Bhutapathinatha Narayana Kalashantha Bhajanti Hyanasuyavaha. Rejecting the frightful forms of Shiva and other devatas, persons desirous of liberation, what to speak of devotees, even those who want liberation, without criticizing those devatas, worship the avatars of Narayana. They all worship Narayana. Rajastama Prakritayaha Samashila Bhajanti Vai Pitrubhuta Prajeshadin Shri Aishwarya Prajetsavaha. Those who are in the mode of passion and ignorance worship those in the same category, namely the forefathers, other living beings, and the demigods who are in charge of cosmic activities. for they are urged by a desire to materially benefited with women, wealth, power and progeny. But that is not the essence of scripture. Why then worship other people? It is told. Why only worship Krishna? And why people worship, if Krishna is the goal of everything, why Krishna people worship this thing? Yeah. So we will conclude. Vasudeva Paraveda,
Vasudeva Paraveda,
Vasudeva Paramakha,
Vasudeva Paramatra,
Vasudeva Parayoga,
Vasudeva Parayoga,
Vasudeva Parakriya.
Vasudeva Parakriya.
Vasudeva is the purport of the Vedas. Vasudeva is the object of all sacrifices. Yoga, Varnashrama, knowledge and austerities are all dependent on Vasudeva. Bhakti is dependent on Vasudeva. Prema and liberation are dependent on Vasudeva. So everything is Vasudeva. And Vasudeva Param Jnanam,
Vasudeva Paramjnanam,
Vasudeva Param Tapaha,
Vasudeva Paramtapaha,
Vasudeva Paro Dharmo,
Vasudeva Parodharmo,
Vasudeva Paragatihi.
Vasudeva
In
Paragati.
the living scriptures, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please Him. Yoga is for realizing Him. All future activities are ultimately rewarded by Him only. He is the supreme knowledge. And all severe austerities are performed to know Him. Religion, dharma, is enduring loving service unto Him. He is the supreme goal of life. Vasudeva is everything. I'll stop here. Anybody has any questions, comments on what we discussed? Very good point. He said that in Sapaguna, people worship devatas. They go to devatas planets. That is true. If they end with Sapaguna, but if they transcend Sapaguna, then they come to Siddha Sattva. When they are in Siddha Sattva, they worship the Supreme Lord.
If goodness people, if they worship Vishnu, not considering him as a supreme lord, but just one of the demigods, one of the lords. Then
Basically, Sattvam is Brahma Darshanam. It is told. Sattva Guna gradually leads to Brahma Darshanam.
they will understand.
Yes, because one more point is there. That is, Sattvat Sanjayate Jnanam. The people in Sattva Guna understand Jnanam. Jnanam Sanjayate, Sattvat. Jnana will come by Sattva Guna.